So there's another fragrance reviewer here on YouTube. He's been reviewing fragrances for several years now. His name is ChrisCretice, and he has a channel called Casual Fragrances. Well, recently, I should say last month, he came out with a fragrance called Mint Island. I know he's a huge fan of mint. He always wanted to create his own fragrance, and with the help of an indie perfumer, he created this fragrance, and I purchased it right when he told me about it because I want to support my friend. So I'm very excited to give you my thoughts on Mint Island, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this video and I tell you about Mint Island by Casual Fragrances, I believe that's the name of the brand, I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's episode. So here we have a mint-based fragrance, and of course with a name like Mint Island, one would expect no less. I think he's currently taking pre-orders for batch 2, if I'm not mistaken, and it's pretty affordable. If you're a fan of mint, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna leave links down below to where you can check it out, and this is also a pretty strong fragrance. I'm not entirely sure what the concentration is, although I would surmise that it's probably an eau de parfum or something like that, maybe even an extrait de parfum, because the performance on this is really strong. Even as I stand here and I sprayed this about 10 minutes ago, give or take, it's still wafting quite generously and quite strongly off of this test strip. And so I know it also contains yuzu, cardamom, patchouli, sandalwood, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not all about the mint, but it does have some anchoring ingredients that also give the fragrance a nice bit of weight, a nice bit of longevity and character. So I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the presentation. So you don't even have to spray this fragrance. Right when you take the cap off, all you're gonna smell is mint. And I know 100% that this is what my friend Chris was going for. So Chris, kudos to you, very well done. This is a mint overdose in many ways, but it's not a unilateral fragrance in the sense that mint is not all you get. You really have to give this one a chance to warm up and settle down on your skin, and then you'll eventually notice that there's a lot more happening in here than just the mint, although initially it can overwhelm your senses, not just because there's so much of it, but because mint in any manifestation has the ability of doing that. And what I mean by that is, you know, that mentholated feeling that you get when you smell mint, whether it be peppermint, spearmint, can even be clove, which contains eugenol, bay leaf, eucalyptus. All of these ingredients really open up your nasal cavity and your nasal passages, and you can just feel that mentholated sensation, and you have an overdose of that in the opening of this fragrance. Now, you do start to get something on the sweeter side of things, but it's not coming from like a vanilla or tonka bean. At least I don't think so. There could always be more notes to a fragrance than what is listed in the note breakdown, but I'm given to understand it's probably coming from the sandalwood. So the sandalwood in here, it has that woodsy aroma, but it also has a really nice dose of sweetness that is a bit uncharacteristic in the sense that it's not sugary, it's not saccharine, it's certainly not cloyingly sweet, but it gives it a nice bit of sweetness to serve as a contrast to that bright minty freshness that you're gonna get in the opening. Now, I thought there was also something citrusy happening in here. I thought I was getting a little bit of lemon or bergamot from this fragrance, and again, could very well be lemon and bergamot. There's a nice handwritten note that Chris wrote, which was really nice. He signed it as well with the date on the top. Ah, that's right, there's yuzu. So in terms of yuzu, I'm sure you're familiar with fragrances like L'Eau de Ses Pour Homme by Issey Miyake, and this fragrance doesn't have that same vibe as L'Eau de Ses Pour Homme, but I'm getting that bright sort of citrusy quality from it. But like I said before, I initially just thought lemon. And so there is yuzu in here. It's a bit tart up on top. For those of you who are not familiar with the aromatic profile of a note like yuzu, you can basically just imagine it smelling like lemon. Lemon and mint in the opening, which also kind of puts me in the mindset of like a mojito. So with that slight sweetness that's coming from the sandalwood, the sweetness, the mint, the citrus, definitely puts me in like a mojito mojito vibe, which I really enjoy. In terms of the cardamom, you know, cardamom can come across smelling quite green. I don't get a lot of it in this fragrance. There are a lot of fragrances out there, like there's a fragrance called Cafe V by Olympic Orchids. That's one of the strongest cardamom fragrances I've ever smelled. And then of course you have La Nuit de l'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. That one also has like a nice powdery cardamom with some other elements in there, giving it that classy, dressed up, sophisticated vibe. This one definitely gives off a casual vibe, pardon the pun, because the Fragrance Reviewers channel is called Casual Fragrances. This definitely corroborates that. So it gives off a casual vibe. I think it's very easy to wear, very inoffensive. I haven't met too many people that don't like the smell of mint. I know there are certainly a lot of people that wouldn't mind smelling mint in a humidifier or something like that. I personally love wearing mint, whether we're talking about Cartier's Roadster, Renaissance by Xerjoff, 1861. But this fragrance is an awesome mint-based fragrance with a touch of sweetness on account of the sandalwood and a really nice personality that is established through patchouli and yuzu. Even though I don't find the latter to be that strong, I'm sure it's in there because I have worn this on several occasions and it does seem to last a long time. So again, links are going to be down below if you're interested in checking it out. I know it's quite on the affordable side. I don't think that he has large bottles like 3 ounce or 3.4 or 5 ounce or anything like that, but you can pick up a small bottle, and then if you're ever interested, you can always jump in for the third pre-orders if he does decide to do that in the future. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I definitely find this fragrance to be unique because you can tell that this is that type of fragrance that was independently made, in the sense that there is, you know, someone allowed to take creative risks as opposed to making something expected, cookie cutter, and something that has been sampled 100 times before in subtle different manifestations, right? So we're dealing with something that is quite different from other fragrances that I've tried. The yuzu, the mint, the overall smell is very pleasant, but please be mindful, in the first 20 minutes of this fragrance's life, you are going to get a mint island. You're going to get the entire island and you're going to be enclosed by all of the water. You can't escape. It's going to be a mint overdose in the first 20 minutes. After that, the green elements like the cardamom does start to come through. The sandalwood certainly comes through. I actually can smell the sandalwood from the very opening of this fragrance. Longevity, 10 hours, which is surprising for a mint fragrance, but I think it's those anchoring ingredients in the base that are really contributing to that, because after about 4 or 5 hours, the mint, while it doesn't disappear, it does get quite subtle. Projection was amazing for the first 2 hours of application, definitely radiates beyond an arm's length, but I also did like 6 or 7 sprays, and so for me personally, I was able to smell it quite loudly. And while you do become anosmic and you get olfactory fatigue to other notes, I don't think too many people can have that much olfactory fatigue to mint. It's one of those ingredients that definitely asserts itself and you can tell it's there. Versatility on this one, definitely casual. I suppose you can wear this formally as well. The yuzu and the citrus in here definitely gives off a refined quality to the fragrance, but I think it leans a little bit more on the casual side of things. Summertime, so spring and summer, best times to wear this one. Also on a warm fall evening, you can pull this one off too. Anybody of any age, anybody of any sex or gender can wear this one quite comfortably. In terms of the presentation, very minimalist, but we're also dealing with a very affordable fragrance. And I know Chris on his channel, he spoke about that. He wants a fragrance that is affordable, something that is very easy to wear, something that is not going to overwhelm anybody in terms of taking a financial hit, something where if you have a few extra bucks lying around burning a hole in your pocket, you know, you can buy this one, especially if you have an affinity for mint fragrances. This is a no-brainer. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you took something of value from this review, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Chris's information is going to be down below as well, so if you want to check out his channel, please do. Give this video a thumbs up. It would greatly assist with the algorithm. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.